Hi, I'm Mark Schneider, you're watching Schneider Classics, and I made another mistake. Why do I like these cars? Alright, so as you can see, it's another Sunfire. That Sunfire, I can't find a bumper for it, and it's a lot of work. This one, rockers are all mint. They're all good. But there's a problem with this one. As always, there's always problems. Aside from the obvious that it's been in a crash, we have a list here. She's pretty straightforward, she's pretty clean. There's only a little bit of rust repair I have to do at the back here and on the subframe. Very minor, versus if we go, don't mind me, I'm just cooking some wings in the barbecue and have a bonfire going here. Versus this thing needs lots of work. But we're going to be able to steal a lot of parts from this. So this is now becoming a parts car for that car. Fire. Bings. But as you can see, this one also has a way nicer interior. And like I said, the rockers are here. Which is a big plus. I don't mind rust repair, but that car we bought for scrap price versus 350 bucks, I can scrap it for 400. I'm not too worried about that actually, because scrap right now is is 16 cents per pound. So, but yeah, which is like 160 bucks per 1,000 pounds. That's a 4,000 pound car. So yeah, that's about $500 in scrap. Not to mention, I'll cut off the cat. We'll sell the cat another day. Which, funny enough, this is a way nicer interior, way nicer. We'll steal a lot of parts from. It was in a crash, but the airbag's already been replaced and the crash sensor. Guy told me it hit it. He's like, oh, somehow it slid and hit the fence and stuff like that. Versus you can see markings here and obviously the front. I put the scan tool on it. Let's read off the codes. Because the scan code, the vehicle was in limp mode because I scanned it. It had, obviously, there's some stuff here. History codes, B0026, which is a history code for driver front deployment loop open for airbag. Steering wheel airbag went off. And then a bunch of history codes for when the system goes off, security system sensor data high circuit high, security system in learn mode, pass lock cylinder data incorrect, key and ignition fault. Well, that's all ignition stuff for when you change the steering wheel airbag. That kind of just diagnoses that. Lost communication with body control, front crushed system open loop. But these are history codes. And that's the thing, when those crash sensors go in open loop, because that's when they split open and stuff, you hit the crash sensor, it goes off, sends off the airbag. That's already been fixed. They just didn't clear the codes. So those are history codes. But history codes tell a lot too, and that's where a scan tool being able to get into those history codes is helpful. And scan tools stored in their metadata, in their memory data. Current codes on the thing, P0141. And that's it. That's the only current code. And the reason that's a current code is you'll hear in a sec. Somebody stole the Cadillac Murder. So that's a big repair, but it can be easy. Like I said, we spent, so cars here, I was saying this with the other Sunfire, cars here, I gotta flip my wings. Alright, cars here, like I was saying before, are about $5 grand. So even though we bought that blue car for 350 bucks, which is not bad because that car is worth around $400 or $500 in scrap, plus I can take the cat off of it and scrap that cat. Cats are sadly not compatible because that's a 2.4 and this is a 2.2, and this is an Ecotec, that is an Iron Duke. They're not compatible, sadly. The exhaust manifolds on the front on that engine, the exhaust manifolds on the back on this one. Right side of the motor, left side of the motor. That's all it is. So that blue one we can't use. But I'll be able to get the money back from it anyways, because we bought that for $350. Now this one, I did spend a little bit more than scrap value. Obviously scrap value is around 500 bucks. We spent $800 on this one. Now the reason for it, it needs no body work other than the front bumper and a dent in the fender. Those are easy. I don't have to replace the fender because the other one was crunched and crumpled. This one just has a dent in it and the door does not contact it, which is a very common problem on these when they get in for an accident. That's all I can say there. But I'll go down the list that this car needs. This car needs headlight clips because the headlight got hit there and stuff. Like they don't need it. It needs to be fixed. Bumper, fog lights fixed. We can steal the fog light off the other car. Wiper blades and wiper motor. The wiper motor is very weak, so I'm gonna steal it off the other car. Again, these are parts we're saving with that other car. Fender dent, I'm just gonna pop it out. Reverse lights, it's a cut wire. I just need to do that. Rear seat clips on Sunfires and stuff. If anyone knows Sunfires, the clips don't match properly, like when you mash them in. So I just gotta push them back in properly. So someone took out the rear seat and didn't install it properly. That's all I have to do with it. Exhaust and O2 sensor. So whoever stole the cat, because obviously cats are worth money, someone stole the catalytic converter and they cut the 102 sensor. So I have to do the downstream O2 sensor and I gotta do the cat. That's expensive. There was a rodent in the transmission. There was a rodent in the engine. You could tell there's a little bit of fluff, but someone went in there and cleaned it and they didn't tell anyone. There are some bare wires. They're making contact. There's no check engine lights with this thing. It had check engine lights because someone didn't clear them. Because the only active check engine light this had this morning was the O2 sensor. That's it. So obviously all those wires are making contact. Obviously they're not break, but they are bare, so I want to address them because they had some chewings on them. The washer fluid container, because that's where it is, right where that bumper is broken. So that's cracked, so I got to replace it. We're going to steal that off the donor car. The engine mount, top mount, we should be able to steal off the donor car. I might not be able to. That I might have to buy brand new. The left front strut, we still again might be able to steal that off the donor car. If not, I'll have to buy that brand new. Sway bar links, I'll just buy those brand new because they're like 12 bucks a piece. Front right axle, that has a small leak in the one boot. I'm just going to see if I can steal it from the donor car because the transmissions are the exact same. Rear bumper support rust, so there's a little small rust spot which I can show you on the other car, for example. My wings, they're smoking. Those are good. That fire's still burning. So where the rust is on the other car, because I already have this off, is this spot. I don't know why it's this rear. I think because it's just a loose tire, there's not even like any traction to kick up anything. This spot always rests right here, so I got to pull the bumper off and do a patch here. I might actually just cut this off, mimic it, so I can copy it on the other car and put it there. But so the bumper's got to be pulled off and that repaired. That sucks. That's a time-consuming repair. The subframe has a small hole in it that I'm not going to take the subframe off. It's just going to get its rust repair right on there. Clean and rocker guard rockers and underside. It's got surface rust. No holes. Front and rear brakes. That's a safety concern. Just do front and rear brakes on it anyways. And left door speaker. That's not something for safety. That's just something that she wants done because she's the girls ain't drive this car. This car is for her and the kid, like the original one was. So we're gonna get to that. So now I'm gonna do some work on it. So let's aim to get something done on this. This, I'm gonna do wiper. Now we're gonna do the wiper motor because it's a part I can steal off the other car, and it's here. Other parts I gotta order. I wrote this list today, so
was I one like to go for you, one heart to go for you? Was I one night too slow for you, one time said no to you? Every sigh, every change in your eyes.
So this thing here, as you can see, we're going to test this motor.
Every time you told me that you lied,
That's it on its fastest setting. That's a problem. There we go. Come on, clip. And it's off. And finally, we have the first part from the donor car here. So you can see, even though this came from a worse car, this one's not as rusty as that one. So probably corrosion got in this motor.
Was I one night too good for you? One night too low for you? Couldn't be perfect for you. Was I one night too slow for you? One time slow to you. Couldn't be perfect for you. No matter how much I wanted to, it wasn't worth it to do.
Well, considering I just sprayed myself in the face, these work way better. So yes, that old motor is just done. I probably could have gotten away with just swapping the motor pack, but... Or could I? Oh, I would have had to fully taken it out to undo these two torsion bolts. They just swap the motor. Nope, that was a better option. Now the hard part, getting this cowl back on.
Every sigh, every change in your eyes, locked in my mind. Cut through so deep, I don't even wanna try. Every time you told me that you lied, I knew where I'd hide, and you know I shine under the moon.
So actually this is not that bad. It's one pink wire needs to repair, two ground wires, they're just grounding out to each other, and just a bunch of nicks. And the nicks will have to be pulled apart, sealed, and put back on. Not too horrible, but it is obviously a problem. So we're going to call that an end here. I fixed one thing. There's a couple more things that need to be fixed. I started looking at one thing to fix it, the wiring harness. We'll fix that another day. Thank you guys for watching. There's going to be a lot more. It's her car.
Damn straight.
And we're working on it.
No matter how much I try for you, those days turned into lifetimes.